throughout the day. And even this year, I feel like my student-teacher relationship is not where I want it to be. I feel like it's more like, nagging and being loud with students. And most of the time, that's not very well received because they probably get that at home. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I balance, okay, I need to be firm, but I also need to know, okay, if you were having an issue, you can trust me to come and tell me, because you may not have that at home. Be not your brother or sister or your friend, but as a role model or a mentor, but
valid
yet,
sounding board.
right. And so I feel like there's not enough professional development in that, as far as they're saying, if you can't manage your class, you can't teach. So it's more like, the negative side of classroom management, but not enough of the positive rapport that you want to build with your students.
Is it Ruby Payne?
Yeah.
Yes. I did that training my first year of teaching, and my principal was so big on relationship building. And I was a social worker for 10 years before I went into education. So the building relationship part for me is the easiest. And so, people will say, like we've said before, this kid is crazy, but then in my class, they've got that comfort zone. I've had teachers walk by and say, you have this kid, how do you get him to work?
Right.
And it's relationship building. And I don't know how you teach that to somebody. It's empathy, it's being able to look at a kid and finding a positive immediately.
There are some kids that are only gonna connect with that one teacher.
Yeah.
It might be you, and it might not be, it might be somebody else.
You
Sometimes
hope they connect with someone.
somebody.
But what
it's
scares
teaching
me
it.
is when we do get the professional development on relationships, and they say, you need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, I know people that if they do this, it's going to be a huge failure because that's not the kind of person they are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell people who are not
Everybody has to fit the cookie
emotional.
cutter.
Yes, don't tell people that aren't emotional and aren't
Touchy-feely.
touchy-feely maternal or paternal. Don't tell them that they have to be that way because it's not going to be natural. And the
It's
student's
reactive.
going to
It'll
pick
be
up that
inauthentic.
it's inauthentic, and the
That
students pick
shows.
up on that, and that makes it go the wrong
That
way.
also is a huge snare, because and I do not care black, white, brown, purple, green, or blue. If you are male and you do all this stuff we're being told to do by the ladies that lead these things, you will lose your job by the end of the week.
Yeah.
You cannot do what a woman can do, and they don't tell you that until you're down at the POS and tell them, what the hell are you doing giving a kid a hug? Well, I was told in training to hug the kids. No!
But don't touch them.
Yeah, exactly. Professional development.
But there's space the whole way.
Well, yeah.
I know you're hugging me, I'm just gonna pat you on the shoulder.
But
I
no,
really
if you're a
do
male, you
care.
can't do that. It's one of those.
Right.
It's one of those
Yeah.
you both see me do that.
My camera running.
So, you guys, that professional development, that relationship building, you have to allow humans to be humans.
Right.
And everybody has to have understand what their bubble is.
Right.
I can't take you till you have to do what I do. It's not gonna work.
So I know we said we were gonna throw everybody this, but this is a positive way to throw somebody under this. So I get the kids from 6th grade, right? So it's so funny how the kids remember their 6th grade teachers. And so when I get the kids that come from Alice and Shelley, because I get yours every once in a while, they're like, oh, I love them. They're like second mommies to me.
They've got that relationship.
They have that relationship, and I'll get the ones from Holland, and they're like, oh, we loved her, but she was, she was kind of mean. And I look and go, if you thought Holland was mean, but whether we see the relationship we're having with the kids, they communicate, and so I know that you two have great relationships with your students. Y'all found that because they come up to me already having those great relationships.
We've embraced being ourselves while teaching, and I think that helps, because we don't have to, we're able to have this, we don't have to be dual personalities. We can be ourselves as we teach, and it helps that we're crazy, silly, excited
It
about.
does get them ready for me as queen of the geeks, so.
So that means that leads us to the next question is, what degree of importance do the members here place on professional development?
Coming from the professional world, you have to have professional development. That is it's a requirement to function because it's like technology. And I'm a dinosaur in technology. Technology and I are not generally friends. Ms. Smith will tell you that. Ms. Sherman, anybody in this room that's working knows. Technology and I are not friends. It moves too fast. Well, the rest of the world moves that way too. And as I have been told repeatedly for the past 2 years or 3 or 10, I can't remember, it's not the world I grew up in. It's different. If I don't get trained on what's going on out there, I can't function in there with the kids. So it's important. But it has to be relevant, viable, and marketable to me.
It also needs to be given a chance to work. We're
Yeah.
too bad about
New program in
trying
6
new
weeks.
things, and we don't give programs that probably were really good a chance to.
Well, we had a professional training 4 years ago. We brought that speaker in that wrote the books about training, and he said, okay, y'all have to understand there's a curve you're going to go down before you come up.
Right.
We didn't even get to the bottom of the curve, and we were doing something different. So if they don't get the proper time to
Well,
work.
I know that we did the PBL training, and I love PBL
Capel was
training.
good training.
And Shelley is the goddess of project-based learning.
She
But I
does.
had to fight to get the kids doing it on an
Right.
on-level class, and I have pretty good results with it.
Right.
I can't go as long or as full out, and I have to do more baby steps with my on-level kids. But I love project-based learning, and my job should be when the teacher, when the administrator walks in, and I'm standing there watching them do their own thing, and they're calling me if they need me. But but I had to fight to keep doing that, and that was a useful training, and sometimes that's what I feel like, is I go learn these new things. And also, professional development should be important to all of us, because we're teaching children to be lifelong learners, then we need to be a lifelong learner.
Right.
We need to be going out there, learning new things,
Right.
seeing new ways to do it, even if it just reinforces how we've been doing it.
We need to have a ginormous toolbox with lots and lots of tools in it, because we never know what
What
tool
tool?
is going to be needed.
And then we
And
can
what
pick and
skill we
choose.
need to use.
So
We need to be able to
sometimes I don't
choose,
even
yeah.
mind bad PD or PD
Yeah.
that didn't completely suit me, because I can chuck it. I
Yeah.
can say, okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And that in science, learning that something's wrong is just as important as
So
learning something's right.
that leads us into our next to last question. It says, what is the most significant challenges you face in the classroom while you attend PD
Substitutes.
subs?
That was worse this year than I've ever seen in my 6 years of teaching.
I have never taught, yeah, this
If you
year,
don't protect teachers, they're not gonna come. That's just simple. I don't care what that kid did, if they did something, if you,
Is that really the reason, or is there
Yes,
a shortage
because
in the
we-
district?
there is a shortage in the district.
I thought-
when I sub, you had a horrible school, I wouldn't go to your school.
But my school.
I would not- I would not- I would just say-
It's a good school.
Well,
In my class, they're happy, in some
I-
classes, they are. We can't throw the whole campus out with the bathwater.
But that happens. You get a rep for one class, even if you did one class, then that rep will go to the other subs. Because I subbed for a year before I was a teacher, and you would hear rumors about certain schools, but then at the same time, when I was subbing, you didn't have a choice to say, I'm not gonna do that school bad at that.
yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
Well, and it's not just how the students are teaching, or treating the subs, it's also what they get when
Administration
they
gets.
walk into the building and what the administrators have.
Right.
Yeah.
When they're saying, okay, you're covering this class, this block, and then you're gonna go to this room, and then you're gonna go to this room, and then you're gonna have 2 classes, this, you're not treating them as a professional.
Right.
You're giving the subs basically just everything, pushing
Well,
them, you know.
I hear this a lot, and it's because I'm into what I'm into, ISS, is that their excuse is that, well, they are subs and they don't know what they're doing. But we do know how to respect, we do know how to be courteous, we do, and that right there is the reason why we can't get subs, because I'm not getting as little as I'm getting, and then go to your school for your kid to cuss me out, walk out on you, and then I report it like I'm supposed to, and then you telling me I'm a sub.
That's part of it. Well, and I was, whenever Ms. Skelton's out, her plans for her class are so detailed that you have to read. You know, if a sub comes in and cannot read, there's gonna be a problem.
Right.
And I do the same thing. I leave 2 or 3 sheets, one for each class for my subs. And I have had subs come in and say they love the topics, they love the subjects, but because of this class and these students, they will not be back.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, I'll look at the names, I go, oh, yeah, duh, of course I understand that, because they're your people. They're not here in this room on a regular basis. Or they're people that are on that special list that administrators have of, well, we just don't understand all the stuff at home, and we've gotta give them
Do we
some
need
latitude.
to?
So,
I mean, you should be aware of it. I mean, but just because mama crackhead, I'm gonna let you be one. You know, I'm gonna try to do everything to let you know that, hey, you love mama, you
Yeah.
love her, no
Okay.
matter what her weaknesses are, but yet and still you strive to be better. But that's not negotiable though. And I think those are some of the things, you know, studying, being a principal, I just got to finish with principal law, I mean, school law. And it's funny how kids are protected from everything. But the one thing they're not protected from is themselves. So here you got a 5th grader basically telling you, I'm not doing any work. Then why are we promoting that kid? Because you're saying, well, we got to keep moving them on. And then we hit this ceiling. And then they can't get over that ceiling because they have no skills, because I've been trusting you. You've been promoting me, and I've been acting a fool, but you keep putting me on, pushing me on, and now I need the stuff that you're supposed to be giving me. Now what I do? Now I'm dealing with an adult. So I think that administration has to step the game up on that. Okay, how might PD help you to improve yourself or your campus?
It always does, in one way or the other. It improves us as individuals, again, it brings us community and communication, and it makes our campus stronger, whether it's good or poor, because it does bring us together to put things on the table. So whether you go away moaning to each other, you have something fun to moan about, or you go away saying, that was a really good one, I hope we get more of that.
Anybody else?
I have to agree that part of the PD is what we bring into ourselves. And I agree, Shelley, I do like that aspect, because there are some teachers, the only time I see them, even though we work in the same building all day, is when we're all together.
I think it's more our responsibility what we bring into it, because I teach my kids there's 3 Ps. If you don't practice 3 Ps, you're not gonna succeed. You have to be present, you have to participate, and you have to be persistent. In order to participate, you have to know what the hell's going on. You have to be aware of the content, what you're doing. You don't have to be the expert, but you have to be aware. Today, we're dissecting a pig. What's a pig? I don't know what that is. You know, you have to know what a pig is. You have to be ready. No, now you're talking pork chop, baby. But you know, you have to know a little bit. Then you go, oh, and we're going to do it like we did the frog. There's a little participation, and you have to be persistent. We have to treat PD the same way. And the problem we have is very often PD is blind until we get there. We don't know what we're getting until we walk in the room. So we're unprepared. We can't participate except as a victim because we don't know what's coming in.
So to have some sort of a preparation,
Yeah.
some sort of information, agendas.
Right.
More so than just a word,
Yeah.
you know, just a little sentence, paragraph that tells us, we're gonna be doing this for you. That way we could, if we were professionals, think back to your days, you could walk in with, okay, I did a little research on the internet, I picked up a book, I looked at this, I know what we're gonna do. You're doing that, no, over here they did this, and you have an educated conversation. We don't have a lot of those. We have very one-sided presentations.
I kind of like that idea of having something that we do first as individuals and then we bring together to the, sort of like the flipped classroom, we would flip our
Yes,
PD.
yes.
Yeah,
I
we
would
do
love
that.
some flip training.
Please, instead of, here's the book that we're gonna work out this year, we're now gonna tell you about the book. Give me the book 2 weeks early, or at the end of the year,
Summer.
have you read it over the
You
summer.
remember those things we've done, because this one was crazy. We go to PD and I'm sitting there and I'm kind of in a not happy mood. And she finds a way to hit my funny bone every time and get me to be engaged. She just got it. She's got that ability, and that's very important to me. But it's that community, it's that thing, and when she, you know, so that's what I'm saying to that.
All right. And so, guys, we are now at the conclusion of our discussion. And what I would do is I'll review the tape, and then I have to do a reflective, what I'll do, I'll email you guys the version that I send out. And I do want to thank you guys for sacrificing More than 45 minutes.
Okay, so our names will be beeped out and there'll be a dish over my face.
I'm not that high tech.
Harris is.
I just want to thank you guys. Make sure you take a cookie and some punch so you can have something to drink on your way home.